here on Capitol Hill, and the Verify team is here to make sure we answer your questions by getting the facts. And as always, let's start by showing you where we're getting our information. The Verify team spoke with a trio of law experts: constitutional attorney Robert Peck, Mark Graber, University of Maryland law professor, and Ilya Somin, a law professor at George Mason University. We also looked to the U.S. Constitution. Here's question 1. Let's verify, if former President Trump is convicted, can he be disqualified from running again in 2024? Let's start with the plain text of the U.S. Constitution. Article 1, Section 3 says punishment shall, quote, not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit.
It says the Senate may add disqualification. That's up to the Senate. But disqualification is the only thing the Senate can add.
So we can verify that yes, he can be barred from running again, but it's up to the Senate whether that punishment is included. Now to our next question. Can the Senate put the former president in jail or prison if he's convicted? Our experts say no.
You can't get a jail term, you can't get a fine, you can't get the death penalty or any other kind of penalty or punishment. Technically speaking, this isn't the criminal punishment at all.
So we can verify that yes, he can be banned from future office, but no, he cannot be sent to jail by a Senate conviction. Here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.